Wait, so you're telling me that in order to get superpowers, I have to inject my face with 1,000 needles? No thanks. Hey everyone, this is Rabbitearsblog and welcome to my in-theater movie review series. So today's movie I'll be reviewing today is the new Netflix film, Thunderforce. And before I get into my thoughts about this film, here are a few words from the channel. Alright everybody, it's time to get on the social media train. Want to chat with me in 100 words or less? Then check out my Twitter account. Want to talk about movies, TV shows, and video games within the group? Then check out my Facebook account. Want to check out some of my ultra cool fan art? Then check out my DeviantArt page. Want to get the lowdown on everything that's happening on this channel? Then check all of the above. And now, we return to our regularly scheduled program. So Thunderforce stars Melissa McCarthy and Octavia Spencer, and it's about these two best friends named Lydia and Emily who were best friends since they were kids. But one day they ended up getting into a huge fight and they ended up breaking off from each other. So when Lydia and Emily become adults, Lydia decided to invite Emily over to their high school reunion party despite the fact that they've been separated for years. And when Lydia goes to visit Emily, she finds out that Emily is rich and is actually trying to come up with some kind of chemical that would allow people to get superpowers. And Emily was going to test it on herself. But unfortunately, Lydia ends up getting in the way and she ends up getting the superpowers instead. And so Emily and Lydia, both having superpowers at this point, decided to use their superpowers to actually stop a group of supervillains called the Miscreants. So what are my thoughts about this movie? Well, I have to say that this is one of the weaker films for this year, but I'll get more into that later. And let's just talk about some of the things I did like about this movie. So the first thing that I did like about this movie was the relationship between Lydia and Emily. I like that despite the fact that Emily and Lydia were estranged from each other for many years, I like their relationship with each other as they've proven to me that they're very close to each other. And I like the fact that they have this fun little banter with each other where they're reminiscing about how they were like as kids and the things they did with each other as kids. And I really like seeing that aspect between Lydia and Emily's relationship with each other, as it shows that they are close friends despite the fact that they broke off from each other over the years. So I enjoy seeing that aspect to their relationship in this film. Another thing I like about this film was the premise itself. I like the fact that this film is about these two best friends who decide to get superpowers themselves so they can save the world from the miscreants, as it's like a noble reason for them to get their powers in the first place. And I like the fact that they're using their powers for good and not using their powers for some random things like getting dates and stuff like that. So I like the fact that the premise of this movie is just these two best friends wanting to get powers to protect people. Now here are some problems that I have with this movie. First off, it was the cringe comedy. I had a similar problem with Adam Sandler's Hubie Halloween last year, as the comedy was just too cringy for my taste. Like, there was a lot of moments in this film that just made me cringe with embarrassment as I look at all these characters trying to make jokes, but the jokes come off as being flat, and I didn't really care for that. And I just found myself not really laughing at any of the jokes throughout this film, and it just made the characters seem so awkward to me. Another issue that I have with this film was the slow pacing. This film moves at a very slow pace. Like, there were many scenes in this movie that just moved so slowly that I was like on my phone for the most part trying to get through this movie. And I just kind of wish that there was a little more action in this film, since this is supposed to be a superhero parody. So how come there wasn't a lot of superheroics in this film? And yeah, I was bored with a lot of things in this film. And then another issue that I had with this film was that the miscreants themselves were underdeveloped characters. Like, they just seem to be there just to be the antagonist of the film, and that's it. Like, we don't know much about their backstory. We don't know if there's any more miscreant characters in this universe besides the ones that we see in this film. And they just don't seem to have much of a personality beyond being the bad guys. There's only one miscreant character in here that actually has a bit more personality, but I don't want to say this character's name without ruining the film for you guys. But yeah, only one miscreant character was kind of interesting in this film, and I wish that the other miscreant characters were a little more interesting and have more to their personality besides being the bad guys of the film. So overall, I give Thunderforce a skim it. Keep in mind that this is a very low skim it, as it's nearly to don't watch territory, but the reason why it's on the skim it side is because the moments between Lydia and Emily were very fun, and I enjoyed their relationship with each other. And I do like the premise of this film about these two best friends getting superpowers to protect people, but on the other hand, the cringe comedy and the slow pacing actually brought this film down for me, and I wish that they developed the miscreated characters a bit more than just being one-note villains for this film. So that's my review of Thunder Force, and tell me in the comments down below, have you seen Thunder Force? And if you have, did you like the movie? Did you hate the movie? And what's your favorite superhero parody film? Please feel free to tell me in the comments down below. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is Rabbitearsblog, and I'll see you guys later.